Good day to everyone. Our topic for today is about the marriage and dissolution of marriage. This topic introduces the fundamental concept of marriage and marriage under the Philippine law, the annulment of marriage, legal separation, divorce, and others. Okay, first is what is marriage? So when we say marriage, it is a social union or legal contract between individuals that create kinship. Okay, it is an institution which interpersonal relationships, usually intimate and sexual, are acknowledged by a variety of ways, depending on the culture or demographic. Okay, yun yung tinatawag natin na matrimony. Ang union na yun, yung tinatawag natin matrimony. At yung nagaganap na seremonya is that marks its beginning, okay, is usually called the wedding, yung seremonya na ginagawa. Okay? And the marital structure created is known as the wedlock. Okay, according to Confucius, marriage is the union of two different surnames. Okay, dalawang magkaibang apelyido in friendship and in love in order to continue the posterity of the former sages. Okay, and to furnish those social preside and the sacrifices to heaven and earth and those in the ancestral temple and to those at the altars and to the spirits of the land and grain. And another meaning, according to Thomas de Quincey, that marriage is a union between two persons who live in harmony to absolute with each other, or as to be independent of the whole world outside. Okay. So next is the definition of marriage. Okay, on the Merriam-Webster. So it is the state of being united to a person of the opposite sex and the husband or a wife in consensual and contractual relationship recognized by law. So yan yung ibig sabihin ng marriage na yan, kung saan yung dalawang tao ay pumapasok sa isang kontrata, okay, na kung saan ay pagkatapos ng mapirma yung kontrata na is sila ay magsasama. It is the union of the two person. So another is the such union may be also be called the matrimony. Yung pagsasama na yun ay tinatawag na matrimony, while the yung seremonya, okay, ay tinatawag nating wedding, at ang marital structure created ay tinatawag na wedlock. So the term marriage is derived from the Middle English marriage, which first appears in 1250 to 1300 CE. Okay, this in turn derived from Old French marier, meaning to marry, and ultimately Latin maritare, to marry, and maritus, meaning marriage. Okay. So another is what motivates someone to marry. Okay, ito yung mga dahilan kung ito yung mga iba't ibang rason kung bakit nag-aasawa pumapasok sa isang marriage. Okay, yung isang tao na yan. Okay, because of love, economic, parents' wishes, escape from loneliness, and others, financial security, adventure, protection, and sexual attraction. So these are the reasons kung bakit nag-aasawa yung isang tao. Okay? So, there are forms of marriage. First is monogamy. Pag sinabi nating monogamy, it is the marriage of one male and one female. Pag-aasawa ng isang lalaki at ng isang babae. Okay, while polygamy, it refers to the marriage between one person of one sex or a minimum of two persons to other sex. Okay, pag-aasawa ng isang tao sa yung dalawa, yung kanyang inasawa, okay, that is polygamy. Okay, and the types of polygamy is the polyandry and polygyny. So pag sinabi natin polyandry, it is the marriage of one woman to two or more men. Okay, while the polygyny is this refers to the marriage of one man, okay, to two or more women. Okay, pag ang isang babae, dalawa yung kanyang napangasawang lalaki, polyandry. Polygyny, pag yung isang lalaki nag-asawa ng dalawang babae, that is polygyny. And also, there are kinds of marriage. First is the adoptive marriage. So, itong adoptive marriage ay practice doon sa Japan. Okay, kung saan doon sa Japan, if the family does not have the son, wala silang anak na lalaki para mai-preserve yung kanilang surname, the prospective son-in-law, okay, adopts the family name of the bride's parent, okay, before marriage. So in doing so, the bride's family name is not changed. Okay, yung lalaki, for example, wala akong anak na lalaki, okay, may anak akong babae, so bago magpakasal yung anak ko na babae sa kanyang boyfriend, dapat magpalit muna ng apelyido yung lalaki. Okay, na ang ipapalit niya yung apelyido namin para hindi mawala yung surname namin. That is adoptive marriage. Okay. And another one is the sororate marriage. Ito yung kung minsan tinatawag nating sister-in-law marriage. Okay. So, bakit tinawag na sister-in-law marriage? So it is called as such because a man remarries his deceased wife, sister. Okay? So yung sororate marriage, kapag namatay yung asawa mong yung babae, asawain niya yung kapatid na babae ng kanyang asawa. So the husband engages in marriage or sexual relations with the sister of his wife, usually after death. If his wife has proven infertile, yung baog. Another one is the levirate marriage. This is the reverse of sororate marriage. So this is the marriage where a woman marries the deceased husband naman. Yung babae, asawahin niya yung deceased husband, brother, yung kapatid na lalaki ng kanyang namatay na asawa. Okay. Another one is the ghost marriage. So when we say ghost marriage, this is similar to levirate marriage. So under this form of marriage, the children of women who married the deceased husband's brother, yung asawahin din niya yung kapatid na lalaki, yung kanya kapatid na lalaki ng kanyang asawa, okay? At yung brother ng kanyang asawa, it will become the will act as the father, as the biological father of his children. Okay, that means that the second husband of the brother is only a surrogate or who substituted for his brother. So another one is the endogamy. This refers to the norms which dictate that an individual should marry a member of one's clan or ethnic group. Okay, yung asawain mo lang, yung katribo lang. Okay, that is endogamy. While the exogamy is dito sa endogamy is kung minsan is nag-uusap na lang yung magulang diyan para pag-asawain yung kanilang mga anak within their tribes or clan. And the exogamy, kabaliktaran naman yan, is prescribes that one marries outside of one's clan or ethnic group. Pag-asawa naman yan, outside their clan or ethnic group. So these are the kinds of marriage. So after marriage, meron naman tayong tinatawag na residence. Okay. These are the residence after marriage. Ito yung mga tawag nating residence after marriage. So first is the neo-local residence. This means that the newly married couple lives in their own residence. Titira na sila sa kanilang sariling bahay, neo-local residence. While patrilocal residence or bilocal, this means that the newly married moves in with their husband's parents. Titira sila sa magulang nung husband. While the matrilocal, kabaliktaran ng patrilocal yan, this means that the newly married couple moves with the wife parents. Okay? Titira naman sila sa magulang ng wife. Okay? And the bilocal residence, this means that the newly married couple, palipat-lipat yan, shift residence from matrilocal to patrilocal residence. Okay? Mamaya nasa bahay sila ng magulang ng babae, mamaya nasa bahay sila ng magulang ng lalaki. Ano ba yung rason bakit may bilocal residence? Because maybe due to financial reasons. Okay? Or parents' wishes, kung kagustuhan ng magulang, or some other reasons. Okay? So dito sa bilocal, makakatipid yung mag-asawa niyan. Okay? So bago kang mag-asawa, kailangan mo ang tinatawag na marriage license. So when we say a marriage license, it is a document issued either by the church or the state authority authorizing a couple to marry. Okay, so the procedure for the obtaining of license varies between countries. Mayroong iba't ibang pamamaraan kasi pagkuha ng marriage license sa iba't ibang bansa. Okay, so ang marriage license kasi is nagsimula yan na noong Middle Ages to permit a marriage which would otherwise be illegal. Okay? For instance, if necessary period of notice for the marriage had not been given. Okay? Another one is I will discuss to you later what we call marriage license. Who are qualified? Okay? Kung ano ba yung ma-exemption ng marriage license na yan. So common law marriage, when we say common law marriage, it is sometimes called de facto marriage, informal marriage, or marriage by habit and repute. It is a form of interpersonal status which legally recognized in some jurisdiction as a marriage even though no legally recognized marriage ceremony is performed, or civil marriage contract is entered into the marriage is registered in the civil registry. So ito yung tinatawag nating live-in, pagli-live-in. Okay. So another one is the same-sex marriage. Ito yung ginagamit nating termino. Okay, to describe a legally or socially recognized marriage between two persons of the same biological sex or social gender. So dito sa Philippines wala namang same-sex marriage, pero in some part or in sa other countries meron yan, especially sa England, France, meron silang same-sex marriage. Okay, so there are also what we call the financial consideration of marriage. Okay. So the financial consideration aspect of marriage vary between cultures and have changed over time. So in some cultures, dowries and bride prices continue to be required today. Ito na yung tinatawag natin sabong, okay, sa Ilocano. Okay, after the marriage in early modern Britain, all property, okay, and expected inheritances of the wife belongs to the husband. That is on the modern Britain. Okay, so I will discuss to you first what is dowry. Okay, pag sinabi mong dowry, hindi naman ito unconditional gift. Okay, but was usually a part of the wider marriage settlement. Okay, for example, if the groom had other children, yung lalaki may ibang mga anak, okay, they could not inherit the dowry, okay, which had to go to the bride's children naman. Pupunta yung dowry na yan sa mga anak ng babae na kanya mapapangasawa. Okay. In the event of her childlessness, kung walang anak yung kanyang mapapangasawang babae, the dowry had to be returned to her family. Mapupunta sa pamilya ng babae. But sometimes not until the groom's death or remarriage. Okay, that is dowry. Okay. The bride price and dower, okay, in other culture, the groom or his family was expected to pay a bride price. Okay. Magbabayad yung groom. Okay, parang babayaran niya yung kanyang mapapangasawang babae. Okay, doon sa bride's family for the right to marry the daughter or dower. Okay. Nangyayari ito sa mga Arab countries, okay, which was payable to the bride. Okay. This required the groom to work for the bride's family for a set period of time. Okay. Sa mga Jewish, yan. Bibilin mo yung mapapangasawa mo sa mga Muslim countries na yan. Okay, and the modern custom. The modern custom kasi is, especially in many countries today, each marriage partner has the choice of keeping their properties. Okay, keeping his or her properties separate or combining properties. Pwede separate, pwede niya mag-combine. Pero yan yung tinatawag natin na community property ngayon. Okay, that is on the modern custom. So, pero ngayon, meron kasing mga legal jurisdiction, okay, or laws related to property and inheritance, okay, provide by default for property to pass upon the death of one party in a marriage. Firstly, kapag namatay yung isang spouse, firstly is yung mga property na yan is mapupunta sa spouse doon sa buhay pa. And secondly, to the children. Okay? Kaya nga meron tayong ginagawang mga wills and trusts. Okay? That can make an alternative provision for property succession. Okay, mga last will and testament na yan. Yan yung mga ginagawa ko mga alternative provisions lang for property succession, kung sino ba yung magmamana. And taxation. Okay? In some countries, spouses are allowed to average their incomes. Lahat naman tayo dito, kahit naman dito sa Pilipinas, mayroon namang binabayarang tax. Okay? It's either karamihan joint tax declaration. Okay, to what we call the compensate for this many countries provide a higher tax bracket for the average income of a married couple. Okay, sa ngayon na kapag sumahod ka ng 20,000 below, you are tax free na tinatawag. Okay, so these are the financial considerations in of marriage. Okay, next is determination of marriage as practiced in other countries. Paano mo kailan ma-terminate yung marriage na yan? So in some societies, marriage is extinguished through one, death. Pagpatay na yung isa, terminate na yung marriage or divorce. Okay, wala namang divorce dito sa Pilipinas, pero meron tayong annulment of marriage. Okay, so many societies also provide for termination of marriage through divorce. And marriage can also be annulled in some societies where an authority declares that the marriage never happened. Okay, kasi may mga factors, okay, para ma-annul yung isang marriage. Okay, kailan masasabing pwedeng ma-annul yung isang marriage, especially dito sa atin. Okay, dito sa may divorce kasi after the divorce, the spouse or one spouse may have to pay the what we call alimony. Okay? Ano ba ang alimony? Pag sinabi mong alimony, it is an obligation established by divorce law that is based on the premise that both spouses have an absolute obligation to support each other. Okay? During the marriage or civil union unless they are legally separated. In some instances, the obligation to support may continue after separation or divorce. Yung tinatawag nating sustento, yung alimony na yan. Okay? So these are the forms or practice to terminate the what we call marriage. Okay? So what is marriage under the Philippine law? Under Executive Order 209, the Family Code of the Philippines, as amended by EO number 227, marriage is a special contract of permanent union. Okay. Pag sinabing permanent union, pagsasama na, hindi na pwedeng maghiwalay yan. Between a man and a woman, entered into in accordance with the law for the establishment of conjugal and family life. It is the foundation of family of and an inviolable social institution whose nature, consequences, and incidents are governed by law and not subject to stipulation, except that marriage settlement may fix the property relations during the marriage within the limits provided by this code. Okay. Dito sa ating, it is a special contract yan of a permanent union between a man and a woman that is under Article 1 of Family Code. Yan yung marriage. Okay? So, what are the two essential requisites of valid marriage? Para may masasabing valid? Okay? Under Article 2 of the Family Code. Okay? So, legal capacity. Ito na yung isa. The legal capacity of the contracting parties who must be male and a female. Dapat yung mag-asawa ay lalaki at babae. Hindi sinasabi sa batas natin na lalaki sa lalaki, babae sa babae. Okay, para maging valid yung marriage. Pangalawa, consent freely given in the presence of the solemnizing officer. Sino yung solemnizing officer na yan? Yung magkakasal sa kanila, yung pari. Sino kung yun yung mga authorized to solemnize marriage. Okay? So these are the two essential requisites. Okay? Yung dalawang party must be a male and a female, and the consent freely given to in the presence of the solemnizing officer para maging valid yung marriage. Okay. So how about the three formal requisite? Itong isa is yung two essential. Ito yung two essential requisite. Okay. How about the three formal requisite of marriage? Ano yung tatlong formal requisite na yan ng marriage under Article 3? Yung sabi is, number 1 is authority of the solemnizing officer. Yung bang magkakasal sa inyo ay otorisado. Okay? And pangalawa is yung valid marriage license. Meron ba kayong valid marriage license? Except, kasi may exception yan. In the cases provided in the Chapter 2 of the Family Code. May exception ito. Okay? Ito yung pangalawa. Pangatlo is a marriage ceremony. Okay? Saan ba nangyari? Mayroon bang nangyaring marriage ceremony? Unahin natin yung authority of the solemnizing officer and also the valid marriage. Okay, unahin na lang natin itong valid marriage license. Okay? So, in the valid marriage license under the Chapter 2 of the Family Code, provides marriage exempted from license requirements. Sino ba yung mga exempted sa nakumuha ng marriage license? Okay, unang-una is marriages in articulum mortis or at the point of death. Yung mamamatay na yung tao. Okay? Kung mamamatay na yung dalawang, yung babae at lalaki, Alangan naman kukuha ko pa ng marriage license, mamamatay na. Okay? That is the exemption under Article 27 of the Family Code. Okay. Marriage in remote places. Yung pag sinabi mo kasing remote places is malayong-malayo na sa kabayanan, okay? Walang mode of transportation. Okay, naglalakad lang, pwede 'yun, pero kapag kahit na 100 kilometers 'yan kalayo, kung meron namang kung pwede naman yung any transportation diyan, hindi valid 'yun. Okay, pag sinabing remote places, yung walang pwedeng makapasok ng mga sasakyan, that is exemption, the exemption of marriage license requirements. Okay, under Article 28. Okay, and the marriages between Muslims or among members of the ethnic cultural, kasi iba naman yung sa Muslim. Okay, isa yan sa exemption sa marriage license. And the legal ratification of marital cohabitation. Ano yung marital cohabitation na yan? I will discuss to you later. Yung marital cohabitation na yan. Okay, they are also exempted from marriage license. Okay, from they are not required to get marriage license. Okay, yung marital cohabitation na yan. Pag sinabi kasing marital cohabitation, matagal nang nagsasama ang mga yan, nagli-live-in. Okay. So next is the marriage ceremony. Okay. Yung marriage ceremony na yan, andyan ba, dumating ba, o nag-appear ba yung contracting parties doon sa solemnizing officer na yan? Okay. The appearance of the contracting parties before the solemnizing officer, their personal declaration that they take each other as husband and wife, and in the presence of not less than two witnesses of legal age. Okay, dapat andito yan sa ceremony. Okay? Because this is one of the three formal requisites of marriage, the marriage ceremony. Okay? First, authority of the solemnizing officer, a valid marriage, and a marriage ceremony. Okay? And note that the absence of any of the essential or formal requisite shall render the marriage void ad initio. Okay, maybe this will be the ground for annulment. Okay, dapat meron yung formal at meron itong essential. Meron dapat yung essential requisite at meron itong formal requisite para maging valid yung marriage na yan. Okay? Except as stated in Article 35 okay, of the Family Code, which is read as follows: those solemnized by any person not legally authorized to perform marriage, such marriage were contracted with either or both parties believing in good faith that the solemnizing officer had the legal authority to do so. Okay. So these are the three formal requisites of marriage. Okay. Dito kasi is, for example, hindi naman alam nung magkabilang panig na hindi pala otorisado yung magkakasal sa kanila. Late na lang na nila nalaman. This will be the exemption of this void ad initio. Okay. So next is the legal requisite of marital cohabitation. So na yung marital cohabitation. Pag sinabing marital cohabitation, okay, they must the men and women must have been living together as husband and wife of at least 5 years before marriage. Okay. Para papasok sa exemption ng marriage license. The parties must have no legal impediment to marry each other. Ano yung no legal impediment? Walang hadlang. Okay? For example, is parehas silang single. Yan. Pero kung may asawa yung isa at magpapakasal sila, that is legal impediment. May hadlang. Okay, sa kanilang pagpapakasal. Okay, the absence of legal impediment between the parties must be present at the time of marriage, not during, okay, their 5-year cohabitation. Okay, dapat walang hadlang. The parties must execute an affidavit stating that they have lived together for at least 5 years. Dapat mag-execute sila ng affidavit na sila ay nagsasama na ng 5 years. Of at least 5 years. And the solemnizing officer must execute a sworn statement that he had ascertained the qualification of parties. Yung solemnizing officer na yan, dapat meron din siyang statement, a sworn statement, okay, for the qualification of the parties. Okay, and na walang hadlang, no legal impediment to their marriage. And the marriage solemnized outside the Philippines where no marriage license is required by the country where it was solemnized. Okay. Itong sa number 3 is governed by the Islamic law on family relations embodied in PD 1003. Okay. Itong kasi is pwedeng mag-asawa ng dalawa yung mga Muslim. Pero sa atin, na Kristiyano, hindi po pwede. Okay. This is the legal requisite of marital cohabitation. Okay, next is the parental consent and parental advice. Okay, so in the parental consent and parental advice, ito ay kinakailangan din sa pag-asawa. Okay, so when you say parental consent, it is required when either or both the contracting parties are between the ages 18 to 20 and 21 years of age. Kinakailangan yung parental consent kapag yung papasok sa kontrata na yan is 18 to 21 years of age. Yung magpapakasal na yan ay 18 to 21 years of age, kailangan parental consent. While the parental advice, it is required if either or both of the contracting parties is or are between the age of 21 years of age and 25 years of age. Okay? So, mayroong katanungan kasi. Okay? Can I use parental consent and parental advice interchangeably? Okay? Pwede ko bang gamitin yung parental advice dito sa 18 to 21 years old or pwede ko bang gamitin yung parental consent sa 21 years old to 25 years old? Okay. Ang sagot dyan is no. Okay? Parental consent and parental advice cannot be used interchangeably. Okay? So, what happens if parental consent is required but not secured or given? Okay? The marriage is voidable. Okay? Subject to the filing of a petition for annulment. In other words, the marriage is valid until annulled. Okay? Yan yung mangyayari kapag hindi nakakuha ng parental consent. Okay? Subject, the marriage is voidable. Mamaya malalaman natin yung ano bang pagkakaiba ng void at saka voidable marriage. Okay? So, next is, okay. So, there are two limitations. Okay. If the parental consent has not been secured or given. Okay. Pero nagpakasal na sila. Okay. Unang-una is it could be filed only on behalf of the party who is 18 to 21 at the time of the marriage. Pwedeng i-file ng on what we call on behalf of the party na yan, which is between 18 to 21. Or the petition could no longer be filed after the concerned parties reaches 21 and freely cohabited. Nag-live-in na sila with the other and both live together as husband and wife. So the marriage is considered ratified if no petition is timely filed. Okay. So, could the parents give their consent to the marriage of their child who is below 18 years of age? Yan yung tanong na isa. Okay. The marriage of a person below 18 years of age, even with the consent of parents, are void ab initio. Ibig sabihin ng void ab initio is void from the very beginning. Okay? Capacity to marry of both parties is an essential requisite of marriage, the absence of which renders the marriage null and void. Okay? Walang bisa yung kasal. Okay? So who are allowed to solemnize the marriage? Sino-sino ba yung mga pwedeng mag-solemnize ng marriage na yan? Okay? So the following are permitted to sanctify marriage. The Chief Justice or Associate Justices of the Supreme Court, Presiding Justice of the and Justices of the Court of Appeals, Judges of the Courts, for instance, mayors of cities and municipalities, yeah, municipal judges, and justice of the peace, any priests, rabbis, imams, or ministers of the gospel of any denomination, church, religion, or sect duly registered, acting within the limits of the written authority granted by his church or religious sect, and provided that at least one of the contracting parties belongs to the solemnizing officer's church or religious sect. That is under Article 56 of the Civil Code. Okay? Ito yung mga po pwede. Ito lang ba? Meron pa. Okay? Any ship captain or airplane chief. Okay? Yung mga kapitan ng barko, yung mga piloto. Okay? Airplane na chief. Okay? A ship captain or airplane pilot or military commander of a unit may solemnize a marriage of the following requisite. Okay, dapat ito lang, pwede silang mag-solemnize ng kasal. Kung, okay, the marriage must be in articulo mortis. Ibig sabihin, at the point of death, mamamatay na yung isa or mamamatay na silang dalawa, okay, pwede na nilang i-solemnize yung kasal. May tanong kasi, sir, paano kapag nabuhay silang dalawa? Walang problema doon. Okay? Pwedeng i-solemnize yan ng piloto, kaya ng kapitan ng barko na yan. It must be solemnized while the ship is at sea. Okay? Kung pwede i-solemnize kung ang barko ay nasa gitna ng dagat, or the plane is in flight, okay, or during stopovers at ports of call. Yan. Kung ang eroplano ay nasa impapawid during the flight or during nag-stopover sila sa sa Amerika, pwede silang mag-solemnize ng kasal. Okay? And any military commander of a unit which a chaplain is assigned okay, in the absence of the latter or the chaplain during military operation, in the case of a commanding officer of an army unit, it is essential that the following requisite must concur. Okay. Unang-una, the marriage must be in articulo mortis. Hindi mo nawawala yung at the point of death na yan, yung articulo mortis, mamamatay na yung tao. It must be solemnized only in the absence of chaplain. Kung wala yung chaplain, pwede yung military commander. Okay. The military commander must be a commissioned officer. Pag ibig sabihin ng commissioned officer, yan ay opisyal. It must be solemnized in the zone of military operation na sa giyera. Okay, under Article 32 of the Family Code. O pwede silang mag-solemnize ng marriage. Okay. And any consul general, consul or vice consul in this case provided in Article 10 of the Family Code, which provide that marriage between Filipino citizen abroad may be solemnized by a consul general, consul or vice consul of the Republic of the Philippines. So the issuance of the marriage license and the duties of the local civil registrar and the solemnizing officer with regard to the celebration of marriage shall be performed by said consular official. Doon nagagawin yung ibibigay yung marriage license, yan. Okay? So sila yung mga pwedeng mag-solemnize ng kasal. Okay? So how marriage is solemnized? Who confers marriage license? Okay? Sino yung magbibigay ng marriage license na yan? Okay? The marriage shall be solemnized, nakalagay dyan, publicly in the chambers of the judge or in open court, in the church, chapel or temple, or in the office of consul general, consul or vice consul, as the case may be, and not elsewhere. Hindi kung saan, except in the cases of marriage contracted on the point of death or in remote places in accordance with Article 29 of this code, or where both the parties request the solemnizing officer in writing in which the marriage may be solemnized at the house or place designated by them in sworn statement to that effect. Okay? Kung gusto nilang magpakasal sa beach, po pwede. Okay? Kung sila yung both parties may request. Yan. Mayroong nakalagay diyan, request the solemnizing officer in writing in which the case the marriage may be solemnized at house or place designated by them. Okay? In a sworn statement. Yan. Hindi basta-basta magpakasal kayo sa beach na wala kayong ginagawang request. Okay? Sa solemnizing officer na yan. Okay. Sino yung magbibigay ng marriage license? So, confers marriage license. A marriage license shall be issued by the local civil registrar of the city or municipality where either contracting party habitually reside, except in marriage where no license is required. Okay. So, next, requisites of marriage certificate. Okay. Yung marriage certificate nakalagay. Full name, sex, age of each contracting party, citizenship, religion, habitual residence, the date and precise time of the celebration of the marriage, the proper marriage license has been issued according to law, except in marriage provided chapter 2 at this title, and that either or both of the contracting parties have secured the parental consent in appropriate cases, that either or both the contracting parties have complied with the legal requirement regarding parental advice in appropriate cases, and the parties have entered into marriage settlement, if any, attaching a copy thereof. This is under Article 22 of the Family Code. So these are the requisite of a marriage certificate. Okay? Ito na pupunta tayo dito sa tinatawag nating void and voidable marriage under Article 35 of EO 209. Okay? So, pag sinabi kasi nating void and voidable marriage, when you say void marriage, is one that is considered inexistent from the start. Okay? As if no marriage transpired between the couple. That is void marriage. The void marriage, it cannot be ratified since there is no marriage to speak of. Okay. Simula pa nung una, wala ng marriage. Kailan mo masasabing void yung marriage na yan? I will discuss to you later. About voidable marriage. Voidable marriage is one that is valid until it is declared annulled by the court. Okay? Valid yung marriage nila, okay, until it is declared annulled by the court. Okay? It is one that is valid until it is declared. Okay, naulit lang. Okay, sorry. And is susceptible of convalidation or ratification either by free cohabitation of the parties or by prescription. Okay? So, what is the remedy of the void marriage and voidable marriage? Okay, this is the proper remedy available. Okay, in the case the marriage void, okay, the declaration of nullity of marriage. Ito yung proper remedy. Declaration of nullity of marriage. Okay, while the voidable marriages may be declared null through the remedy of annulment, magsasampa ka ng annulment. Yan yung tinatawag nating void and voidable marriage na yan. Okay? And a void marriage may be impugned both directly and collaterally, and may be impugned even after the death of the parties. An avoidable marriage can only be attacked directly or no longer be impugned after the death of a party. Pag sinabi mo kasing impugned is di pwede mong questionin yung validity. Okay? Kagaya ng sinasabi dito sa void marriage, pwede mo siyang questionin yung validity ng marriage. Okay? Kahit na patay na yung magkabilang party. Okay? Pero sa voidable marriage, it can only be attacked directly. Okay? But may no longer be impugned after the death. Kung patay na yung kabilang party, wala na kayong magagawa dyan. Okay? So, next is the following marriage shall be void from the beginning. Ito na, pupunta tayo sa void na yan. From the beginning, void. The marriage shall be void from the beginning. Okay, number 1 is those contracted by any party below 18 years of age, even with the consent of the parents or guardian. Kung ang ikakasal ay below 18 years of age, walang bisa yung kasal. Okay, the marriage is void. Okay, kahit na mayroong consent of the parents or guardian. Pangalawa, those solemnized by any person not legally authorized. Yung mga nag-solemnizing officer is not authorized to perform marriages. Okay? Unless such marriage were contracted with either both parties believing in good faith that the solemnizing officer had the legal authority to do so. Okay, kapag hindi autorisado yung solemnizing officer, that will be a requisite para masabi mong or rason para masabi mong void yung kasal. Okay? Those solemnized without license, except those covered by the preceding chapter. Yung mga ikinasal kayo na walang marriage license, but except those covered by the yung nabanggit kanina na yung mga exemption. And those bigamous and polygamous marriage that not falling under Article 41 provides that a marriage contracted by any person during subsistence of previous marriage shall be null and void unless before the celebration of the subsequent marriage the prior spouse had been absent for 4 consecutive years. And the spouse present has a well-founded belief that the absent spouse was already dead. Kung biglang nawala yung asawa mo, hindi nagpakiramdam, okay, within 4 years, okay, hindi nagpakiramdam, isipin mo patay na, pwede ka na mag-asawa ulit. Okay. In case of disappearance where there is danger or of death under the circumstances set forth in the provisions of Article 391 of the Civil Code, an absence of only 2 years shall be sufficient. Okay. And another one is those contracted through mistake of one contracting party as to the identity of the another. Ano yung identity? For example, magkambal sila. Lahat ng postura magkakambal. Ngayon, yung pakakasalan mo, hindi yun ang pumunta, yung kanyang kakambal. Ibig sabihin, yung kasal ay void. Hindi kasi pwede yung substitute sa kasal. And those subsequent marriage that is void under Article 53 in which read as follows. Either the former spouses may marry again after compliance with the requirements of the immediately preceding. Otherwise, a subsequent marriage shall null and void. And those marriage contracted by any party at the time of celebration was psychologically incapacitated to comply with the essential marital obligation of marriage. Okay? Even if such incapacity becomes manifest only after solemnized based on Article 36 of Family Code as amended by EO 227. Ano yung ibig sabihin ng psychologically incapacitated? Okay, pag psychologically incapacitated, hindi naman yung talagang baliw. Kasi maraming sa batas natin, marami ibig sabihin ng psychologically incapacitated. Okay, pag sinabi mong psychological incapacity, okay, it refers to no less than a mental, okay, not physical incapacity that causes a party to be truly not cognitive of the behavior of the basic marital covenants that concomitantly must be assumed and discharged by the parties of the marriage, okay, which, as so expressed by Article 68 of the Family Codes, it includes their mutual obligation. Kaya ano yung mutual obligation kasi ng mag-asawa? To live together, observe love, respect and fidelity, and render help and support. Okay. Hindi ibig sabihin na kapag baliw, psychological incapacity, yun na lang ibig sabihin. Hindi. Okay. O lasinggero. Okay. So these are the ito yung tinatawag natin psychological incapacity. Okay. What are the example of psychological incapacity? Okay. The husband and wife refuse to dwell with and subsequently leaves the husband and wife and without fault on the part of the latter. Okay. Iniwan. Ayaw nilang magsama. The husband or wife leaves the spouse without justifiable cause. Umalis na lang basta. Okay. The husband and wife refuse to have sex with the spouse. Ayaw niyang magkaroon sila ng sexual intercourse. Under siya ng psychological incapacity. The wife refuses to have children. There is unbearable jealousy on the part of the party, hence making the common life of the parties unbearable. Sobrang nagsiselos na wala naman, hindi naman dapat. Immaturity, or where there is lack of rational judgment and responsibility, as when the husband refuses to support the family. And the husband or wife cannot shoulder the heavy responsibility of being a parent. So these are the example of psychological incapacity. Hindi naman sinabi dito nagbaliw yung tao. Okay. Pero pasok pa rin yun kung ang isang kung yung asawa may baliw. Okay. And there is consistent lying and paranoid jealousy. Consistent lies and fabrication made by a spouse sufficiently satisfy the guidelines in the declaration of nullity due to the psychological incapacity. Okay? Incestuous marriage, whether relationship between the parties be legitimate or illegitimate. Incestuous yung mga kapatid, mga pinsan. Okay. Those which are declared void because they are contrary to the public policy. So these are the example of psychological incapacity. Okay. What is the reason behind the rule that void must be declared void? Okay. The reason behind the rule is to do away with any continuing uncertainty on the status of the second marriage. This is the reason kung bakit nagkakaroon ng void marriage. Para madeklarang void is para maiwasan yung tinatawag nating continuing uncertainty on the status of the second marriage. Okay? Incestuous and the void marriage, whether relationship between the parties be legitimate or illegitimate, between ascendants and descendants of any degree, and between brothers and sisters, whether of full or half blood. Okay? So, the following marriage shall be void from the beginning for reasons of public policy. Simula pa nung una, wala nang bisa yung kasal. Okay? Unang-una, between collateral blood relatives, whether legitimate or illegitimate, up to the fourth civil degree. Between step-parents and step-children. Okay? Kung ang magpapakasal ay parents-in-law and children-in-law, between adopting parent and adopted child, between surviving spouse and the adopting parent and the adopted child, between the surviving spouse and of the adopted child and the adopter, between the adopted child and legitimate child of the adopter, between adopted children and the adopted and the same of the same adopter, and between the parties where one with both intention to marry the other killed that other person, spouse, or his or her own spouse. These are the para ang marriage masasabi mong void from the beginning, walang visa. Okay, we'll go now to the annulment of marriage. When we say annulment, it is the legal procedure for declaring marriage null and void. Okay. Unlike divorce, it is retroactive. The annulled marriage is considered never to have existed. Okay, walang nangyaring marriage, okay, from the beginning. In strict legal terminology, annulment refers only to making voidable marriage null. Okay? If the marriage is void ab initio, then it is automatically null. Although the legal declaration of nullity is required to establish this. Okay? What are the reasons for annulment? Okay? A reason for annulment is called the deriment impediment of the marriage. Okay? For example, of deriment impediments, being a brother and sister, being married to another person at the time of the wedding. Meron pa lang siyang dating asawa, kasalukuyang asawa bago magpakasal. This may prevent such marriage. Okay? Yan yung mga rason sa annulment. Okay? So these are the following deriment impediments, yung mga hadlang. Pagpapakasal. Okay, consanguinity. Yung consanguinity na yan. Blood relatives. Insanity. Okay, baliw. Not intending when marrying to remain faithful to the spouse. Simulation of consent. One partner had been deceived by the other in order to obtain consent. Okay, abduction of a person. Yeah. With intent to compel them to marry. Okay. Yung parang kinidnap mo na siya para mapilitan lang magpakasal sa'yo. Okay. Failure to adhere the requirements of canon law of marriage, such as clandestinely. The couple killed the spouse of one of them in order to be free to marry. Patayin mo yung kanya asawa, parang pangasawa mo siya. Okay. The couple committed adultery, and one of the couple killed the spouse of one of them in order to be free to marry. These are the deriment impediments. Grounds for annulment. Okay, ano yung mga grounds? That the party in whose behalf is sought to have the marriage annulled was 18 years of age or over but below 21 years of age. Okay. And the marriage was solemnized without the consent of the parents. Yeah, yung grounds ng annulment na yan. That either party was of unsound mind. Unsound mind. Baliw. Unless such party, after coming to reason, freely cohabited with the other as husband and my wife. The consent of either party was obtained by fraud. Okay? Yung pagkuha ng consent is kinuha by fraud unless as party afterwards with full knowledge of the facts constituting the fraud freely cohabited with other as husband and wife. And the consent of either party was obtained by force or intimidation or undue influence. Yung pagkuha ng consent is kinuha lang by force. That will be ground for annulment. That either party was physically incapable of consummating the marriage with other and such incapacity continues to appear to be incurable. Okay? It is not physically incapable na mag-asawa. Either party was afflicted with sexual transmissible disease, yung may sakit, HIV, STD. Okay? Grounds for annulment yan. Okay? So, a requisite in order that physical incapacity will serve a ground for annulment. Okay? That either party was at the time of marriage physically incapable of consummating the marriage. That such incapacity continues, that it appears to be incurable, hindi na malulunasan. At the time of marriage, it was known to be to other party. Or hindi alam ng ibang kabilang panig na mayroon siyang sakit na HTD, STD, HIV. Yeah. Okay. And fraud as a ground for marriage annulment. Okay, ano yung mga klase ng fraud para masabi natin para papasok siya sa annulment? Non-disclosure of previous conviction, tinago mo na ikaw ay convicted dati. Okay? Concealment by the wife of the fact that the time of the marriage, she was pregnant by a man other than her husband. Tinago mo, buntis ka, hindi na yung maasawa mo, hindi siya yung ama. Concealment of sexually transmissible disease, sinago mo na may sakit ka, hindi mo sinabing may sakit ka, hindi mo sinabing may AIDS. Okay? Concealment of drug addiction, hindi mo sinabing addict ka, habitual alcoholism, homosexuality, lesbianism. Okay? These are the ground for marriage annulment, and this is the kinds of fraud. Okay? Legal separation. When you say legal separation, it is a process by which married couple may formalize de facto separation whilst remaining legally married. Okay? So dito, malalaman natin, ano ba yung legal separation? Yung legal separation, okay, for legal separation may be filed only the husband and wife as the case may be within 5 years from the time of the occurrence. Okay? Dapat may file mo legal separation within 5 years. Okay, pag sinabi mo kasing legal separation, meaning the spouses may legally live apart but they are still legally married. Okay? Iba naman yung annulment. Yung annulment is walang nangyari. From the beginning, there is no marriage existed. Okay? While legal separation, the marriage is still valid. Even they are separated. Okay? Hindi sila pwedeng mag-asawa. Pero pag sa mag-asawa ng iba, kung legally separated lang. Pag annulment, pwedeng mag-asawa ng iba. Okay? 10 grounds for legal separation. Repeated physical violence, abusive conduct directed against the petitioner, a common child or a child of the petitioner, physical violence or moral pressure. Okay, to compel the petitioner to change religious or political affiliation. Attempt of respondent to corrupt, induce the petitioner, a common child or a child of the petitioner to engage prostitution, connivance in such corruption and or inducement. Okay, final judgment sentencing the respondent to imprisonment more than 6 years. Even if pardon, this will be a ground for legal separation. Drug addiction, habitual alcoholism of the respondent, lesbianism, tomboy, bakla, yan. Contracting of the respondent with subsequent bigamous marriage, whether in the Philippines or abroad. Sexual infidelity or perversion. Kung minsan is sadista or ano. Attempt by the respondent against the life of the petitioner. Yung bang gusto niyo na patayin. Abandon the petitioner by respondent without justifiable cause for more than 1 year. Iniwan mo yung asawa mo more than 1 year na walang karason-rason. This will be the ground of legal separation. Okay, denial of petition for legal separation. Paano naman ma-deny yung petition for legal separation? Where the aggrieved party has condoned the offense or act complaint. Where the aggrieved party has consented the commission of the offense or act complaint. Kinonsente mo yung ginawa. When there is connivance between the parties, connivance, meron silang, ano yung connivance? Meron silang, they are connived for the commission of an offense constituting act constituting to the ground for legal separation. Okay, where both parties have given ground for legal separation, and where there is collusion between the parties to obtain decree of legal separation and prescription of action where the action was not filed within 5 years from the time of the occurrence of the cause. Hindi mo na i-file within 5 years within the occurrence of the yung rason kung bakit gusto mo ng legal separation. Okay, the decree of legal separation shall have the following effects. The spouses shall be entitled to live separately from each other. Pag-approve na yung legal separation, pwede na kayong maghiwalay. Okay, but you are still legally married. Okay, the absolute community or the conjugal partnership shall be dissolved and liquidated, but the offending spouse shall have no right to any share. So yung ibig sabihin mapupunta sa biktima, okay, to the petitioner. Yung mga ari-arian, ay yung mga net profits earned by the absolute community by the conjugal partnership, which shall be forfeited in accordance with the provision of Article 43 of the Family Code. The custody of the minor shall be awarded to the innocent spouse subject to provision of Article 213 of Family Code. Mapupunta sa insenting asawa. Ay yung mga minor de edad. Okay, the offending spouse shall be disqualified from inheriting from the innocent spouse by intestate succession. Wala na makuha sa kamari-arian. Moreover, provision in favor to the offending spouse shall be revoked by operation of law, okay, to the provision of Article 213 of the Family Code. Okay, effects of filing petition for legal separation. Ano yung epekto ng pag-file mo ng petition for legal separation? The spouses are in, okay, the spouses are entitled to live separately. Okay, she can already have a residence of her own separate from her husband's residence. The husband has no more rights to have sexual intercourse with his wife. And if he forces himself upon her, he can be charged criminally. The court shall designate the husband or the wife to manage the absolute community or conjugal property in the absence of an agreement between the spouses. Okay, kung hindi sila nag-agree na maghati na lang sila, the court will designate sa mga kung kanino mapupunta yung mga ari-arian. And the court may designate the third person to administer the properties of the spouses. That is the effect. These are the effect of petition for legal separation. Okay. What is the distinction of legal separation from annulment? Okay. The marriage is not effective in legal separation. Hindi effective yung pagsasama yung kasal ng mag-asawa sa legal separation. Kaya nagkaroon ng legal separation. Okay? While the marriage and annulment is defective, ibig sabihin mayroong sira. Nung una pa lang, meron din na po pwede yung kasal. Okay. Dito sa legal separation, hindi lang effective yung pag-asawa nila. In legal separation, the grounds arise only after marriage. Sa legal separation, meron lang grounds kapag tapos na yung pag-asawa. Okay, in annulment of marriage, the ground must exist at the time of or before the marriage. Yung grounds, for example, below 18 years old, yung nag-asawa, that is the ground before the marriage. In legal separation, the spouses are still married to each other and cannot therefore remarry. While in annulment of marriage, the spouses can marry again as the marriage is set aside. Okay? In legal separation, there are 10 grounds. While annulment, there are only 6 grounds. Okay, we'll go on to divorce. Divorce is the dissolution of marriage or the final termination of marriage, canceling the legal duties and responsibilities of marriage, dissolving the bonds of matrimony between two persons. Dito sa Pilipinas, wala namang divorce. Okay. The legal process for divorce may also involve issues espousing of spousal support, sustento, child custody, child support, distribution of property, division of debt. Okay. Though these matters are usually only ancillary or consequential to the dissolution of marriage. Okay. There are also types of divorce. First is the no-fault divorce. Pag sinabi mong no-fault divorce, the dissolution of marriage does not require an allegation or proof of fault of either party. Nakalagay dito, does not require any allegation. The application can be made by either party or by both. That is no-fault divorce. Okay? Gusto lang nilang maghiwalay. A fault divorce required proof by one party. Meron siyang ebidensya na kailangan na nilang mag-divorce. Okay? This was termed grounds for divorce, popularly called the fault. Committed an act incompatible to the marriage. And the summary divorce, used when spouse meet certain eligibility requirements or can agree or key issues before. For example, is 5 years lang tayong mag-asawa, magdi-divorce na tayo. So, summary divorce. Uncontested divorce, two parties are able to come to an agreement either with or without lawyers or mediators or collaborative counsel about the property, children, and support issues. Okay, uncontested divorce. Collaborative, the parties negotiate an agreed resolution with assistance of attorneys who are trained in collaborative divorce process in mediation and often with the assistance of neutral financial specialists and or divorce coaches. Okay. And mediated divorce, mediator facilitates the discussion between the husband and wife by assisting with communication and providing information and suggestions to help resolve differences. That is mediated divorce. Okay? What are the typical grounds for an absolute divorce? Unang-una, adultery. Okay? Desertion, voluntary separation, criminal conviction of felony or misdemeanor, and insanity. These are the typical grounds for absolute divorce. Okay? So, thank you for watching our or joining our discussion. And I will leave you this quote by Phil Mickelson. Okay? I think a college education is important no matter what you do in life. Okay? Thank you and God bless.